The galaxy thought humans were weak. Then our scouts entered the Fray commander. Zix Thera of the Hegemony War Council studied the holographic display with satisfaction. The blue-green world of Earth hung suspended in the projection, defenseless, and ripe for conquest. Around the council chamber, representatives from 12 species nodded their approval at the battle plans. The humans have no shields, no energy weapons, no faster-than-light combat vessels, reported General Kethmore, his scaled hide gleaming under the artificial lights. Their military technology is centuries behind our most basic systems. This will be the easiest conquest in hegemony history. Ambassador Velnara, her crystalline form refracting the chamber's light into rainbow patterns, chimed in agreement. Intelligence suggests they still use projectile weapons and chemical propulsion. How quaint. We could subdue their entire species with a single dreadnought. The council erupted in laughter, chittering from the insectoids, harmonic tones from the energy beings, guttural roars from the reptilians. To them, humanity was nothing more than a primitive curiosity, a species barely worthy of cataloging, let alone serious military consideration. They had made their first mistake. 3 cycles later, the Hegemony's conquest fleet dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system. 200 vessels strong, bristling with plasma cannons and quantum torpedoes, they expected to find a cowering civilization ready to surrender at first contact. Instead, they found empty space. "Where are their defense platforms?" Admiral Thexuna demanded from the bridge of the flagship Inevitable Victory. Our scouts reported orbital installations around their homeworld. "Gone, sir," reported the sensor officer, her tentacles dancing nervously over the controls. No energy signatures, no debris fields. It's as if they simply vanished. The Admiral's compound eyes narrowed. Impossible. Scan the inner system. They must be hiding behind their star or the gas giants. For 6 hours, the fleet advanced cautiously through the system, sensors sweeping for any sign of human military presence. They found nothing but silent planets and empty asteroid fields. No ships, no stations, no signs of civilization beyond. The quiet hum of civilian communication networks from Earth itself. "Perhaps they fled when they detected our approach," suggested the tactical officer. Admiral Thexuna's mandibles clicked dismissively. "Cowards. Begin the final approach to their homeworld. We'll accept their surrender," and the attack came, without warning. It started as a single impossible impact against the Inevitable Victory's shield generators. The massive dreadnought shuddered, its energy barriers flickering under an assault that should not have been possible. No energy signature, no missile launch detected, just pure kinetic force traveling at a significant fraction of light speed. Then the real bombardment began. Across the fleet, ships began reporting critical damage from invisible attackers. Hypervelocity. Projectiles, simple chunks of dense metal accelerated to relativistic speeds, punched through shields and armor like they were made of paper. The Hegemony's advanced energy barriers, designed to deflect plasma and exotic matter, proved utterly useless against crude iron traveling at 20% light speed. "Where are they coming from?" Admiral Thexuna roared as another impact sent, the flagship spinning. "Unknown, sir. No energy signatures, no ship profiles. It's like the attacks are coming from empty space." On the tactical display, Hegemony vessels began winking out of existence, the pride of 12 species military might, reduced to expanding clouds of superheated gas by weapons that shouldn't have posed any threat. Lieutenant Zara Chen watched the destruction from the observation deck of the stealth scout Whisper in the dark, her enhanced optics tracking the chaos through the void. Around her, 24 other scouts hung motionless in space, their ships' metamaterial hulls rendering them invisible to every sensor the aliens possessed. "Target the command. Vessel," she spoke into her comm unit. 2 rounds center mass. Behind her, the ship's railgun spun up with a barely audible whine. The weapon was crude by galactic standards. No exotic particles, no dimensional manipulation, just electromagnetic fields accelerating a tungsten rod to absurd velocities. The kind of simple, reliable technology that a primitive species might develop. The first round took 12 seconds to cross the distance to the alien flagship. It struck the Inevitable Victory amidships, the kinetic energy of the impact converting instantly to heat. The massive vessel's hull vaporized along a 300-meter corridor, atmosphere and crew members spilling into space like blood from a wound. The second round hit the ship's command deck. All scouts, continue targeted elimination of command. Vessels, Lieutenant Chen broadcast. Remember, we want survivors to carry word back to their hegemony. Let them know what happens when they underestimate humanity. The battle, if it could be called that, lasted 47 minutes. When it ended, less than 30 alien vessels remained functional, their crews paralyzed by terror and confusion. They had come expecting to face a primitive civilization with crude technology. Instead, they had discovered that humans had spent their brief existence perfecting the art of warfare. While other species developed energy shields and exotic weapons, humanity had focused on stealth, mobility, and overwhelming kinetic force. They had learned to fight from shadows, to strike without warning, to turn their enemies' technological superiority against them. Most importantly, they had learned that in the vacuum of space, it didn't matter how advanced your shields were if your opponent could remain completely undetected while hurling projectiles at relativistic speeds. Admiral Thexuna, barely conscious in the ruins of his command bridge, managed to activate the emergency beacon. His message would carry across the galaxy, reaching every member species of the hegemony within a standard cycle. The humans, he would report, were not the primitive species they appeared to be. They were predators. And they had been watching, waiting, preparing for this moment since first contact. The galaxy had thought humans were weak because they used simple technology. They had failed to understand that sometimes, simple was exactly what you needed. As the surviving hegemony vessels limped away from Sul, the human scouts emerged from stealth just long enough to ensure they were seen. 24 small ships, each one a ghost that had brought a galactic superpower to its knees. The message was clear. Earth was defended, and humanity was far from weak. The real war was about to begin.